All right, welcome back, guys. Another one of those days where the 5-minute jobs are getting into my tractor work time. So finally got around to working on this stupid thing. I needed to get, I meant to bring that over here, but I needed to get that top link bracket off of there so that it can go with the 3-point when it gets sold, because whoever buys it's going to want that bracket. And it was underneath that custom seat base that we have. And it was enough of a struggle to get the bolts out of there. Now, I'm not going to go into all the gory details. It was just, you know, a 10-minute job took 2 hours. I guess that's the way it goes. So I finally got the seat back on, and I'm not, it's higher than I would like for it to be. And I get to looking at it, and I'm not, apparently that's angle iron that they welded a piece of flat on. That must be what the story is. I'm not sure how they made that, but this is 2 inches and probably a little more. And I think what I will do is eliminate this in time, and then I will just use a couple pieces of that 1/2x4 flat iron that I've got, and then I can just, you know, bolt it to the tractor and drill and tap holes and bolt this right to that. And that will lower me down 1.5 inches at least, and probably a little more, 1 5/8. You know, and that should make a big difference. So the big thrust of what I brought you over here to look at, I need a screwdriver for. Hopefully this one will work. Climb up on the tractor here in a minute. And you can see, hopefully, that it's wet around here. And I showed you the gasket the other day, but I suppose we could do that again. That's the gasket. And that part number is 702-28119. So let's see. This may be hard to do. It'll be interesting to see how good a camera work we get today. There's not really anything magnetic to set the camera on. Or really, the screws are good and tight. So I'm guessing it's just the fact that the gasket's pushing 70 years old is why it's leaking. Oh, or maybe it's because it's loose in that corner. I mean, that one was, the first two were extra tight, and that one was loose. Those look to be 1/4-28 screws. Oh, well, that one's not terribly tight either. Yeah, I guess we'll pick that up off the floor here after a bit. So we're probably going to have to shut you off and bring you back at some point in the game. All right. There is our fuel gauge with a good cork float, and yeah, that old gasket has seen better days, folks. I believe I will shut you guys off so that I can get more tools, and I'm going to try to clean that up some. Not going to get too crazy and carried away because I don't want to get a bunch of crap in the gas. But, well, that'll be fun, interesting, entertaining, something. All right, so I've taken care of some of the tedium. You can see the old gasket there and what fine shape it's in. I just used my favorite little putty knife scraper type arrangement and one of my favorite little stainless steel brushes, and went ahead and put the new gasket on there, and it's just back in the hole. Not sure how good a job we're doing with the camera work here, but just well, maybe even more interesting to go back together than it was to come apart. We'll snug that one up just a skosh. Well, Wilbur, this is about as awkward a thing as I've ever tried to do for YouTube. I think we're getting the screws started. I need just a tiny bit smaller screwdriver would work better for me. But then I would have to get up and go get it, and if I was already on the floor, I would be there in a heartbeat. But I'd kind of like to just tighten these screws and shut the camera off and be done with it. And I don't know what we're going to do after that. I might go ahead and pull the manifold off of this today. I've got it spit a little rain earlier, and it kind of made me drag my feet on some of my outdoor stuff I need to be getting done. But then it quit, and I put some Tordon on some Canadian thistles, and at some point in the game I'll take the camera out there and show you how effective that is. Because those things are hard to kill, and if you put Tordon straight out of the bottle on them, it just toasts them. And I've got a patch of thistles out back that I have sprayed. God, I'd hate to think how many times I've sprayed it with 2,4-D, Graze on, and anything else. And they're still there, folks. Hopefully, this is the last time this gasket has to be changed. For me, anyway. So there you have it. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to take it for a drive. We're just going to consider it good. I'm pretty confident. That's at least a third, possibly fourth or fifth one of those I've changed. It's kind of like sediment bowls. They always leak when they get here, and I have to do it. But that's all right. The only way I want gas leaving that tank is to go through the carburetor and get burned in the cylinders. Thanks for watching.